Welcome to the virtual Thanksgiving Storytime with Miss Susie, featuring a reading of Thanksgiving at the Tappletons by Eileen Spinelli and with permission of HarperCollins Publishing.
Hello everybody, I am Miss Susie and welcome to our special Thanksgiving Storytime. So we have a lot planned for today. We are going to be making some biscuits, we're going to be making our own butter, we're going to sing a Thanksgiving song, read a Thanksgiving story, learn how to set a table, and learn how to fold some napkins in some cool ways. So we're going to start with the biscuits because those need some time to bake. So I have these right here. I don't know, do you guys eat biscuits for your Thanksgiving meal? It's one of my favorite parts. They're so good. All right, so we're gonna peel this all the way off and then we're gonna take a spoon and we're gonna press down on the seam and then it pops. Always kind of scares me, but it's kind of fun. Okay, so see I have all the biscuit dough in here. I'm gonna take my pan and lay it all out. Let's count how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so I have them all in my pan, and I'm gonna turn you around here so you can see our little oven. Okay. There you go. All right, so I'm gonna put it in. Be careful because it's hot. It's okay. All right, and then I've already set my timer. It is going for 10 minutes at 400 degrees. So those should be done by the time we're finished with this story time. Very exciting. Maybe we can try one. Okay, and then the next thing we can do is make our own butter. I don't know if any of you have ever done this before, but you can very easily do it at your house. You just have to have some heavy cream and some salt if you want, and you start by opening up the heavy cream. And you don't need all that much. You want to make sure that there's room in your jar or your container, whatever you're going to use, for it to all slosh around in there. It needs to be able to have a lot of movement, okay? So we're going to fill it up to about this 8 right here. So let's see. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to close that up. And then you want to make sure that your lid is on very tight. Okay, really hope it's tight. I'm gonna make sure that it is. All right, we're good. Okay, so then you shake, 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 and that's really it. You shake it until it all congeals and becomes a little bit thicker until it's a butter consistency that you would want to eat. So if you have several people in your house, you can all take turns shaking the jar until you make butter. It'll take a few minutes. I'm gonna pass this off to Miss Nancy and she's going to make our butter for us and we can check on that later. Okay, I think it is time for a Thanksgiving song. So we are going to use our friend, the felt board, and our friend, the mystery box. So during this song, we are going to be singing about different Thanksgiving foods that you eat for Thanksgiving dinner. What are some things that you guys eat at home for Thanksgiving dinner? There's some things that are very traditional to eat, but there's also some things that people eat that aren't traditional and it's unique to their family, but it's all great. It's all about coming together. So let's see what our mystery box has for us. What will we be eating on our Thanksgiving dinner? Ooh, I think you guys will know this one. This is the most well-known Thanksgiving food. It goes gobble gobble. Do you know what it is? It's a turkey. Woo! Okay, so we'll put that up there. This is a repeat after me song. So I'm going to sing a line and then you can sing a line. For this first part, I will sing it with you. I'll sing both parts, all right? So it starts. We eat turkey, oh so good, oh so good. Always on Thanksgiving, always on Thanksgiving. Yum, 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 yum. Good job. All right, so let's see what is next. What else are we gonna have? Let's see, mix it up. Ooh, this is Miss Susie's favorite. Okay, we got mashed potatoes. All right, let's sing the song again. Let's see if you guys can get it, all right? I'm going to sing a line and then you sing it back, okay? We eat mashed potatoes, oh so good, always on Thanksgiving. Yum, yum, yum. Good job. I hope you're singing at home. Okay. All right, for our last food. Ooh, this is a delicious dessert that we have on Thanksgiving. Do you know what it is? What do you usually have for dessert for Thanksgiving? It is pie, a very special pie, pumpkin pie. All right, let's sing the song again. We eat pumpkin pie, oh so good, always on Thanksgiving. Yum, yum, yum. Good job. All right. Okay, so put that away and we can start our Thanksgiving story. Maybe some of you guys have read this one before. It's a really good one. It is called Thanksgiving at the Tappletons. Do you guys know what kind of animal all the Tappletons are? Do you know? Yes, they're a fox family. Okay, so let's see what Thanksgiving at the Tappletons is like. Thanksgiving at the Tappletons was always a big day. Thanksgiving at the Tappletons meant, of course, the Tappleton family. Mr. Tappleton, Mrs. Tappleton, Jenny Tappleton, Kenny Tappleton, and grandmother and grandfather Tappleton, and Aunt Hedda and Uncle Fritz, and most certainly, of course, the turkey and the trimmings. That's the whole family. That's a lot of them there. It was still dark when Mrs. Tappleton lit the oven and took the big turkey out of the refrigerator. Whoa, it was so early in the morning that it was still dark outside. Just then, someone knocked on the kitchen door. It was Mike, the milkman. Do you know what kind of animal Mike is? I think he's a goat. Good morning, Mrs. Tappleton. I thought you might like some eggnog. As Mrs. Tappleton reached for the eggnog, no, what's gonna happen? The turkey slipped from under her arm. Now, on a warmer day, this might have not been a problem, but this Thanksgiving day was quite cold and the step was covered with ice. Before she or Mike could even think, the turkey had slithered into the yard. Oh my goodness, hurry, screamed Mrs. Tappleton. Stop that turkey! The milkman chased the turkey, Mrs. Tappleton chased the milkman, and the turkey slid down the hill and into the pond. Pop, splash. It bubbled out of sight. Oh no. When Mr. Tappleton came down to breakfast, he took a long sniff. I don't smell any turkey, he said to his wife. Of course you don't smell the turkey, she replied. You have a cold. I don't have a cold, he insisted. Mrs. Tappleton shook some pepper in the air, and her husband sneezed. Achoo! See, she said, you do have a cold. Oh, no. After breakfast, Mr. Tappleton put on his coat and scarf and hat and gloves. I'm going to the bakery to buy our pies. Wear your boots, she said. I know for a fact it is quite slippery out today. Sims's bakery was so crowded, the line reached out onto the sidewalk. Mr. Tappleton hated to wait in a long line, so he went to the diner for a cup of coffee. Do you think he should have done that? By the time he got back, the long line was gone. And so were the pies. Oh no! Mr. Tappleton was afraid to go home with nothing. 2 boxes tied up with string, please, he said. Mrs. Sims stared at him. You mean 2 empty boxes? That's right. My, they feel light, remarked Mrs. Tappleton. Certainly they are light, retorted Mr. Tappleton. Mrs. Sims prides herself on how light her pies are. So they don't have a turkey, And they don't have any pies. I wonder what they're going to eat. Oh, let's do a butter check. Thank you, Miss Nancy. Oh, look at it in there. That's not milk anymore. Cool, it looks like we just have a little bit more shaking to do, and then we'll have fresh butter for our biscuits. Okay, let's see. Mrs. Tappleton set the table. She called to her son, Kenny, you may make the salad. There's lettuce in the crisper and carrots and radishes too. Kenny's mouth fell open. Just yesterday, he had emptied the crisper and fed all the vegetables to the rabbits in Mr. Butterworth's class. Oh no. How could he tell his mother? He couldn't. So he covered the empty salad bowl with aluminum foil and stuck it in the back of the refrigerator. So now they don't have a turkey, pies, or a salad. When the others went to pick up the relatives at the train station, Jenny stayed behind to mash the potatoes. At least they'll have mashed potatoes. That's good. Every year, this was her job. This year, she thought, I'll make them even better. I'll use the mixer. Just as Jenny flicked on the switch, the phone rang. It was her best friend, Nora. Jenny loved to talk. Jenny talked and talked and talked to Nora, and she might still be talking today. Had not a wet glump of something hit her on the back of the head. She turned around to see what it was. Splat! Another flump hit her right in the face. What do you think it is? The mixer was going wild, and mashed potatoes were flying everywhere. Without even saying goodbye to Nora, Jenny hung up the phone, scrubbed her face, and wiped mashed potatoes from nearly everything in the kitchen. She finished just as the others came back. No, I don't think there's any mashed potatoes for anyone to eat. Uncle Fritz patted his stomach. I'm hungry, he said. Grandfather Tappleton laughed. I'm as hungry as an elephant. Everyone sat down at the table. It was a Tappleton tradition for Grandmother to say the Thanksgiving blessing. As soon as the turkey is ready, she smiled. I'm hungry as 2 elephants, said Grandfather. Have you ever been as hungry as an elephant? I think I have. Mr. Tappleton went to the oven. I'll get the turkey now. He opened the oven door. Oh no, let's see if they have any. The turkey is gone. Mr. Tappleton searched on the table and under the table and in every kitchen cabinet. He looked in the sink and in the broom closet. I can't find the turkey anywhere. Mrs. Tappleton told them how their fine turkey had slipped out the door and down the steps and across the yard and down the street and plop, splash into the pond. So much for the turkey, said Uncle Fritz. Never mind, said Aunt Hedda good-naturedly. We'll fill up on the trimmings. I'll get the salad, Jenny announced. Then Grandmother can say the blessing. Jenny sat the bowl on the table and peeled off the aluminum foil. Everyone stared at the salad that wasn't there. I fed the rabbits at school, confessed Kenny. So much for the salad, said Uncle Fritz. I'm as hungry as 3 elephants, Grandfather sighed. Kenny jumped up. We'll have Jenny's mashed potatoes. He brought the pot from the kitchen and lifted the lid. There was nothing inside. I was on the phone, Jenny said meekly, and the mixer went wild. So much for the potatoes, said Uncle Fritz. I'm as hungry as 4 elephants, Grandfather declared. The pies, cried Mrs. Tappleton. I'll get the pies. Mrs. Tappleton brought in the boxes, set them down, and untied the string. You brought home 2 empty boxes? She glared at Mr. Tappleton, who covered his ears. 5 elephants, said Grandfather. The dining room was quiet. Everyone looked down at the empty table. Uncle Fritz muttered something, but it could not be heard above the rumble of his stomach. A tear rolled down Jenny's cheek. No Thanksgiving dinner, she sniffled. Nothing to say a blessing for, Kenny sighed. Grandmother smiled. Of course there is something. There is more to Thanksgiving than turkey and trimmings. And then Grandmother Tappleton asked everyone to bow their heads and hold hands. And this is the Thanksgiving blessing she said. Turkeys come and go. Turkeys come and turkeys go, and trimmings can be lost, we know. But we're together, that's what matters. Now not what's served upon the platters. Very true. "That was a wonderful blessing," said Aunt Hedda. Mrs. Tappleton jumped up. "We have liverwurst and cheese in the refrigerator." "I'll help fix the sandwiches," offered Mr. Tappleton. Jenny wiped her tear away. "I'll get the pickles." Kenny laughed. "I'll open a jar of applesauce for dessert." And so the Tappletons had their Thanksgiving dinner after all. Uncle Fritz's stomach stopped rumbling, and Grandfather Tappleton ate enough to feed 6 elephants. In fact, everyone had plenty to eat, but most of all, they had each other. That book made me hungry. Okay, so I think next I can show you all how to make place settings if you want to set the table for Thanksgiving dinner. Okay. Oh, our butter is done. Let's look at the butter.
You have to pour off the...
Okay, so we first have to pour out the excess. So make sure you have a bowl ready. We'll open it up. Okay, so I'm gonna hold back the big part of the butter and let the rest of the milk out. Okay. Look at that. That looks like some good butter. We have this pretty little butter dish we can put it into. Okay. Get a good big chunk of it. That looks delicious. And I like salt in my butter, so I'm going to put a little bit of salt in. And then you can mix that up, mush it in. That's the fun part, is mushing it all around. And you have some butter for your biscuits. So we'll put that on a biscuit whenever they're ready. All right, now let's do the place setting.
Hello. So now we are going to do the place setting for the table. If this is your job on Thanksgiving, then you can watch this video and it should help you out. So we're going to start with our placemat, and then we will put our plate down. The plate should be closer to the bottom of the placemat than towards the top. And now we're going to do our utensils. We'll have the fork on the left, and you want to try to line up the bottom of the utensils with the bottom of the plate. And then we'll have the knife on the right, and the blade should be facing inwards. And then we'll have our little spoon. If you have a salad fork, you can put that right here. That'll just be a little bit of a smaller fork, and then you'll take the glass, and that should go on the right side at the top. Hello, so we are going to be folding some napkins. The first fold I'm going to show you is very simple. So we are going to start this simple fold by having our napkin faced up the correct way. And then we are going to fold it in half this way and fold it in half this way. So you should have a square. And then you're going to look for the corner that has the 4 flaps. So for me, it's this top left corner, 1, 2, 3, 4. You see how all the other corners aren't like that. So this one only has 2 folds. This one is 1, this one is 1. So you want to take this one with the 4 flaps. You're going to take the very top flap and fold it diagonally across. So you should have this line going down the middle. Then we're going to flip our napkin over, and we're going to take the 2 sides with the line in the middle. So you can see with this side that's not there, this side that's not there. You want to take this side and this side, so you have this line across, and then you'll flip that back over and you have a little pocket. So you can stick a fork in it, let's see, a knife, the spoon, and you can put that right in the middle of the plate. So it is okay if you do not have a cloth napkin, because you can also do this fold with a paper napkin, just a normal napkin that you'd have at your table. So it's already folded in half twice. So we are going to start at the step where we're trying to find the corner that has the 3 flaps. So that's this corner right here. And we'll take the very top one and fold it across and crease it and flip it over. And then find the sides with the lines, fold them together, make a nice little crease, and we'll flip it back and you have a pocket. can put all your silverware right in there.
All right.
Okay. All right. So this next fold is a little bit more complicated, but it is also a pocket that you can use for the silverware. So we are going to start the same way. We're going to fold it in half and then fold it in half again. And then we're going to find that corner with the 4 flaps and we're going to fold it across. So far everything's the same. This is where it gets different. So then we're going to take the next flap and also fold that across. And then the next flap and fold that one across. So you should only have 1 flap on this side. Then we're going to take the very top one and make it into a triangle right here. So the very tip of the triangle should be touching the line going across. Here, I'll do that again. We're going to fold that back. And then the triangle should be like that. All right, so for the next fold, we take this next one and we are also going to be making a triangle. This triangle tip should go a little bit over the fold. Really what you're looking for is for this part right here to be about 1 inch, 1.5 inches long. And then you're gonna tuck the tip of it underneath, like just like that, okay? And then we'll take our third piece and we'll make another triangle. And once again, it should be about like 1 inch, 1.5 inches long right there. And we're gonna flip the whole thing over. Be careful when you're flipping it. And we're going to find the side that has the 3 triangles. So right here, we're gonna flip that over. And then the side that's right across from it, we're gonna flip that side over too. You see how there's this little flap? You want that to be just over. It should just be showing. So it should look like this, all right? And then we're gonna flip that over. And there you go, we have our pockets again. So now, there is a little pocket for each utensil. So you'll put the knife there, and the spoon there. Here, go this way. And then the fork right here. And however you want to arrange that, you can figure it out. It's however you want it to look. So those are things that you can put in the middle of the plate. If you want your silverware to be on the sides of the plate, then I have a decorative fold for your napkin. So this fold is super simple. You just take the very middle of the napkin and pinch it and pull it up, and then pull it down with your hands, and you can arrange the folds however you want it to look. And then if you have a napkin ring, you can pull the ring down here. I don't, I'm gonna use a ribbon. A ribbon is really cute too. So I'm just gonna make a little tie so it looks like that. And then whenever you're setting the table and you have your plate, you can just put it in the middle like that. All right. And then you can put your dessert fork or spoon at the very top like that. All right, I think that our biscuits are just about ready. So let's check on those. Ooh, they look really good. Yum. Okay. I'll let these cool for a second and then you can meet me over at the table and we can try them. All right, these look so good. I think I'll pick this one. And then I'll use our butter that we made earlier, just a little bit. Put on the inside. Oh my goodness. It's getting all melty. Very good. Hope you all have a very happy Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all had fun and maybe learned something that you will want to use at your own Thanksgiving dinner. If you would like to come to the library next week, we'll be making Thanksgiving centerpieces all day, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, made out of natural materials found around the area, and it'll be really cute. So we hope to see you then.